Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with Chris Henry, who is one of Australia's leading real estate agents. We're at a UK stroke Australian estate agency conference here. Chris, you've got one office turning over £10 million a year in estate agency fees. You are the principal and you have self-employed agents working with you. The UK is thinking about taking their estate agency business down the self-employed route. What are the biggest challenges for you as a principal for that model? As a boss, let's start with you as the principal, the lead.
So, firstly, the biggest challenge I faced was building a very strong team culture. We're all very different people, but we're all heading in the same direction. So to uncover the real reason why my people were in the industry from the beginning was the first thing we needed to uncover. And to help people in human performance, it was to really help their why. So as a team, we spend a lot of time together working on strategies to improve ourselves first. I found quickly that once we discovered what the main motivating drivers were and we became more comfortable with who we were able to then help coach our owners into having better results out of their property.
What do you see your role as the principal or lead brand person?
Well, my role is to lead, provide encouragement, support, opportunities, help solve problems, and from a bottom-up approach, our organisation, in my opinion, starts from the bottom up. So I provide that support and platform for my people to go and do their best work out in the community.
I mean, there's some agents out there that are thinking that the self-employed model, which is the model we're talking about, is a way to cut costs. But what they're finding is the people who were employed one day who've become self-employed the next are not able to generate their own business. Should it be their role? In the Britain we call them valuers or listers. You might call them slightly differently, but basically the people that go out on the ground, go to the property, put the house on the market, and get it sold.
Sure.
Was it your job? Or was it everyone's job?
Well, it's good. You've got to be very careful how you answer this because lots of different businesses have lots of different models. I can only speak on behalf of my model.
Yeah, but if you don't mind me saying, my friend, £10 million in fees a year is nothing to sniff at.
What I found works best for me and my organisation was to, as a leader, take full responsibility. So I'm responsible for the prospecting programs and the lead generation programs for my organisation. Now, how I do that is I make sure that I attend as much coaching and I make sure I attend as many self-development programs as I can so I can learn and understand how to promote and how to market my brand. Because if I can bring great energy to an area or an environment or a community, then it's a give, and then return. So the give comes first.
But surely you've got these people that you're giving half of your fee away to, say 50-50 split.
Sure.
A lot of people say, well, surely it's the responsibility of the valuer to go and get the business. You're almost got these field full of stallions who are very good at converting, but surely they should be getting their own, shouldn't they?
Well, they do by feeling good about themselves and performing well anyway.
Is that the right way to do it? Because I think there's a lot of people in the UK, a lot of bosses out there who are thinking that it's a case of, right, we'll just turn them all self-employed, they go and get their own business. I think that personally they're looking for unicorns. They don't exist.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous. Before you build your people up first, personally, to send them out into the environment to just generate all their business without the tools. The only reason why I started sending my people out into the environment to win and succeed is what we as a company invested in tools first.
Okay, so a big thing at the moment in the UK is the difference between personal branding and company branding.
Sure.
Where do you think the balance is in Australia?
a lot of Australian agencies are run two different ways. So you have your team-based marketing agencies or your individual marketing agencies. It's exactly the same. I look at the UK market and I look at the Australian market. There's a perception that our agencies are doing it a whole lot better, but there's so many similarities amongst the two models.
I mean, how do you get across from, say, someone who is some boss that's worried that if I put too much on personal marketing, the colleagues might go somewhere else, or is that what your job is? Is if you create the leads and create the leadership?
Yeah, the only way I can answer that, and everyone would have heard this saying before, that if I don't train them, what happens if they stay? Is my problem.
Bang on, absolutely bang on. Now, talking to you today and talking to Lee Woodward, who's obviously a very well-respected trainer, some say he's in the top 3, some people say he's the number 1 guy in Australia. Where do you see your job of being a leader of your people? How important is that?
The leader sets the pace of the office, in my opinion. So if you want a fast-moving, hungry, active environment, then it is the responsibility of leadership to provide that pace.
What should you do as the principal? What advice would you give to anyone who is thinking of going down the self-employed route and being the principal? What do they have to do? It isn't just a case of just setting up an office and a call centre, is it?
There's a lot more behind the scenes work before I'd be encouraging my agents to go out into the market and work for themselves. They need to be hitting certain amount of performance targets, so I know they're going to succeed before I encourage them to do that.
Because one of the big things that you have been said in the room today at the Estate Agency Conference of Estate Agents for Australia and UK is that when you're employed, they work for you, but it's almost a feeling that you now work for them. You've got to be their motivator, their coach, their tribal leader.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute
So therefore it's
privilege.
a mindset for you as well, isn't it?
Yes, there's a certain expectation from them that they have on me and me I have on them. So do you
enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it because, it is a human performance role. I can identify little weaknesses and strengths and I put them in an area that they're going to succeed. If they're really poor in one area, what I try to do is match them up with a team member who's maybe strong in administration, because I know they're great with people. So if I marry those two people together, then I know that team's going to have success.
And how does it make you feel when you do make a difference to your associates?
I don't think there's any better job in the world than watching someone truly succeed from, potentially starting at a level or almost. I've helped a lot of agents that have been succeeding in other brands, and then they've come across into my environment and I've really seen them rocket, or unsucceeding in an area and everyone putting them down. I put them in an environment that gives them some nurture, gives them some tools, gives them some training, help them uncover what their value is, and then watch them succeed.
Guys, you've got to check this guy out on Facebook. His marketing is amazing. His team love him to bits. And Chris, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.